Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Who do we have in the chat today? Only a few of you. If you're here, make sure you say hello in the chat. And yeah, we'll begin in a minute. Baris, hello from Istanbul. Very nice. Patrick Campbell, hello from India. Jambi, good morning. Nuno, sunny Lisbon. I want to go back to Lisbon again soon. I really do. I'll probably head back down there. Maybe I'll go there like next month. I do like Lisbon. It's one of my favorite places, as is Istanbul. I need to go back to both of them. Yeah, cool. Anybody else here? Yeah, hit the like button. Very dramatic, the Blofin splash screen. Yes. So I'm finally putting a bit of the Blofin stuff into it. They've been very kind in supporting the stream and supporting the content recently. So gradually just, yeah, it's a little reminder to myself to say, hey guys, this video is sponsored by Blofin, the fastest growing crypto exchange in crypto. But yeah, hit the link in the description below if you are interested in trading on Blofin. It's a really great exchange. So you guys know for now, especially with a lot of these larger exchanges, you're no longer able to trade properly from places like the UK, places like the US. The likes of Bybit and so on are no longer, yeah, we can no longer trade there. So I do all my trading on WooX and on Blofin now. So with both of those, it's really nice. So with Blofin, it's a non-KYC exchange. With the links in the description below, you get a 50% share of the fee rebates, which ends up in around about a 25% rebate for every trade that you take. So very nice discounts for anyone who wants to use the ref link below. You also get deposit bonuses, so there are big deposit bonuses over there. If you deposit, whatever you deposit, you get 10% back as like free trade credit. So you get 10% cash back up to $7,500 futures bonus. So if you put in 75k, then you get $7,500 as a futures bonus, which means you've got to use it to trade, but if you're profitable, you keep all the profits. What you also get is bonuses depending on your trading volume. So if you trade $100 million, for example, over the course of a month, then you'll get back $9,400 in rebates. So really good deals over there, pretty much exclusive to our community. So not only do you get the fee discounts, you get the deposit bonuses, but you also get the volume bonuses, which are a big deal. Like, I know 100 million sounds like a lot of money, but if you're scalp trading, then it really does start to add up quite quickly. Like a few, one Bitcoin trades per day, scalping in and out, you can easily rack up $100 million worth of volume in a month. It's that kind of market. It doesn't take very much. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. Like, the nice thing about Blofin, more so than other exchanges, and the same with WooX, is they're probably the two most solid APIs on the market. So if you trade on something like Teal Street, or in Silico, or those kind of things, I think it's on in Silico. I think Blofin's on in Silico. I know Woo is. Blofin is on Teal Street, I know that for certain, and the API is brilliant. So the problem with a lot of these other exchanges, like BingX, Mexi, those kind of exchanges, the APIs are terrible. Bybit, the API is awful. So if you want like a real solid API that you can trade from a terminal, absolutely, like Blofin is the one, and there's no KYC. Create as many accounts as you like. Back to the good old days of crypto. So it's one of those throwback exchanges, like we all knew how Bybit was a few years ago, where you could just create 100 accounts, blow them all up, make a new one, blow it up, make a new one, blow it up. The good old days. Blofin's kind of like that. But as long as you keep using the ref link, then you keep getting the fee rebates, you keep getting the bonuses. Happy days. So yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of a starter thing. So links are all in the description below. Do check those out, and yeah, we'll continue on. So I need to keep this one fairly short. I've got the photographer's just come, so basically I'm moving out of this place as well. So had photographs taken of the apartment, but I've got to go off. The dogs have their teeth cleaned today. The dogs have a dentist appointment in about an hour, so I need to wrap up and make sure this stream lasts no longer than about 40 minutes, but that is plenty of time. At least we've not had too much movement going on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get straight into the TA, and yeah, we'll go from there. Really, we've not got that many viewers this morning. It's one of those slow starts. If there's anyone that's watching on X, then please do say hello. I see there's 38 people viewing over there. We got some numbers over here. All right. I think if we're able to close above the weekly gap, then we should go to all-time high, equal highs. Yeah, okay. I'm going to start on the weekly time frame then. I'm going to start on the weekly when I do this analysis, and that is something that I think is really important. Dale Corduroy, welcome. All right, cool. Good stuff. So I'm going to turn the music off. We're going to get straight on with the BTC analysis. Make sure everything's loaded nicely. I think we're looking pretty good. Make sure the ETF stuff's up, because I think we're on to a 9th straight day. That WLD short worked out perfect. It did. It did. I took profit on that pretty quickly, closed most of it. I've just kept, I do my little thing, like keep a little bit of dust left for the clout. For the clout screenshot, if it does go to zero, right? We did it with Luna back in the day. Shorted Luna at $118, rode it all the way to zero. I don't think WLD is going to end up being the same, but we shall see. Okay, time to record. And yeah, I don't get the whole delay with this recording thing. I need to wait like 5 seconds after I press record. It's really annoying. So let's try it. Let's see if I can capture the beginning of what I'm saying as well. So, good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video, Thursday, the 18th of July, 2024. And yeah, this is your Bitcoin crypto update. Something I always forget to do. These videos and these streams now very kindly sponsored by Blofin. The link for this is in the description below. You get a nice 20% fee rebate, a 50% share of the fee rebates, plus 10% deposit bonus. So if you deposit $10,000, you get $1,000 free to trade with, and some additional nice volume bonuses over there as well. So do check out the link in the description below, and we'll get into the Bitcoin analysis here. So starting off on the weekly, we've had after last week, which was a real decent bouncy candle, we've had another one of those today. So barely any like downside momentum. We did put in a slight low after the weekly open, so we're not looking at a wickless candle that needs to be retraced so much, but we do have a very minimal wick on that weekly. And now acceptance back inside the value area of this entire range here. So we had that close just below the lows of the range, and now we're getting this open and close back inside value area, back inside the range. And it looks like a very, very good sign of strength from the market. So I now am back almost fully into bull market mode, and I do believe, I still think it's possible that we see a correction from this, and we do see this previous, our current week open being tested maybe next week. I am still expecting a move back down to test that 60K area at some stage, but I think that would be a really nice area to bid into. Now, on the weekly time frame as well, we do have a little gap here on the weekly, and I think the weekly close is going to be fairly significant here. Can it get get that close above that like 65k area, which I think if we do get that close, it just increases the probability further that we're going to be breaking all-time highs. Now, once again, that doesn't mean that you can't retrace and break all-time highs and do this kind of thing. I think regardless of the weekly close, we're still going to be going to new all-time highs before, and actually not going to be taking these lows, not ever again, because next bear market, they'll probably go. But certainly, I think for the rest of the year, we're looking at a real good low now. And if it does go lower, it would still be an area in which to accumulate for myself. So weekly time frames looking healthy. On the daily, it's also looking very healthy. Okay, you can see we're just consolidating within this weekly gap here, where we have what was support. You had this OB. You put in a bit of a distribution above. We had that double top. You then lose the POC, drop down. A fairly not impulsive move at this stage. It did get impulsive afterwards, but just mainly just slow grind down. And we're trading back within that area again here. So if you draw this to the left, you can see it's been a real nice SR level for almost the entire range. It is the midpoint of this range, around about that golden pocket retrace from this high to low. But it is, yeah, it's a decent range and a decent SR level to be aware of right now if you extend that left. Now, what we're seeing today, of course, is we have had the back test into the previous day open. So we had yesterday's open, we put in a little spike above. We got that retrace back down into the 4-hour gap. That has held, and we're back up towards that daily open. I still do believe that we can continue to push higher up towards 67k. These retraces are looking good, and we are still absolutely looking at this as being a parabolic move higher that is increasing in momentum as we go higher. And I would therefore expect that to continue until we start to break down from some of these levels here. So when you're looking at the momentum is clearly still moving up, and these dips are opportunities to buy. You go down onto the 30-minute, and it was really nice here. You had this double bottom with a single print next to it, and what happened yesterday? Okay, price comes down, sweeps them. Let's draw that again. Price comes down, sweeps these lows, holds the support. And then we are seeing, once again, continuation up here. Now, the sticky level that it's got to get through is that previous day open. You can see it has tested back into that. All right, there is an opportunity where this could retrace, look to take out some lows down around about that 62,200. But if it can break through that previous day open, I would fully expect a move up towards 67k today and going into tomorrow to close the week off quite strong. The only other thing that you'd have to say is if this does start to roll over here, then we are looking at maybe some kind of like head and shoulders formation forming here, which could lead us once again, like I say, to that 62,200 area to fill in some of these imbalances before getting another bounce. So it's all level to level, pretty straightforward, and just trading the momentum right now, which at the moment is higher. So any dips that we get, you would have to look at those as being good buying opportunities now, once again, especially I think on the altcoins. Now, there's not a whole lot more to say from this. If we look at our session volume profile, okay, and we just go on to the lower time frames here and we look at our previous day POC, we can see that we did have a PDPOC that is well within value of this whole range that we've been trading. So we've just been trading, once again, like we were just speaking about, the value within this range is around that 1 week gap, and everything, like any imbalance that has been created within this little range that we're trading in has been quickly corrected, and we are seeing that continuation generally higher despite there being a small corrective day yesterday. What else do we have on here? Is there anything else on the chart that we need to look at? We're above VWAP right now, but it's not looking like a momentum day. It's looking more like a ranging day, and we need to get a bit of volume in order to see that push through previous day open. If it can push through previous day open with volume, I think that would be a great opportunity to take a long position to aim for those 67k overall range points of control, which, as you can see, there it is. There's your 67k POC. If it went to 66,900, that kind of thing, that is the area that you would be looking for as a rejection, and maybe that will be the push to then take us back down towards 60k to make that higher low before we go and make all-time highs later on in the summer. So keeping it simple, and that keeping that plan basically for now. What else do we have to say? If we go towards the order flow, there's nothing more on here, is there? We can look at the TPO. Let's just look at the TPO quickly, if that will load up. It may not do. Nah, you know what? We're going to skip the TPO because the POCs are the same. There are a couple of MPOCs that are lower. We are aware of those. They coincide with where the CME gap is down here at 58. I'm not really looking at that as being the highest probability play right now. And I've spoken about this in previous streams, where when you get a breakaway gap like this, the market doesn't need to come and correct it. Okay, it's a change in momentum. And once again, the gaps that you need to be aware of is if you're mid-trend and you gap up, then the market will often seek to correct that before getting that continuation. But if you are looking at a shift in momentum, let's say you've been in this uptrend and then it gaps down, you're not expecting that gap to get filled, okay? That is a momentum shift, and the whole point of that is a gap is actually something that you want to see remain in the charts, because you do not want to give an exit for positions that are trapped. Otherwise, there's kind of no point in doing it in the first place. Okay, if you're going to have a shift in momentum, you've got to do it with an impulse. You've got to do it with, as we've seen on this occasion, do it with strength and not come back down to that gap. That gap is something that maybe we can think about in the next bear market, but if we are bullish here, we shouldn't be filling it. If we do fill it, of course, it is a level to trade from. That would be a really nice higher low. It comes into around about our 786 right now. So I think if we do draw a fib from low to high here, not even that. So we're just below the 618. So if there is to be that move towards 67, then that will bring us into that 702, 786 kind of zone. That will fill up a lot of the imbalance below. You could still take that as a higher low. But what I'm saying is don't expect that there's a guarantee that this will happen. Like with these other gaps, you almost can see them as being a bit of a guarantee that you're going to fill them. That's not necessarily the case on this occasion. However, repeat, if we do trade into it, still a nice area to bid if that does happen. Now, going on to the order flow, we've had a 9th day in a row, I believe, of ETF inflows. So despite yesterday being slightly corrective, okay, and just by corrective, like sideways, right? There's a lot of mess in the background. We have had a 9th day of ETF inflows. Now, we haven't seen many occasions where it's gone beyond that. So, and still right now it's pretty chill here. So you're not getting these mass inflows like we saw early on. It's fairly calm, but also we do have to be aware that there's probably going to be another ETF narrative that starts probably next week. I do believe that the ETH ETFs are going to be trading, I would imagine, before the end of this month, probably next week. So that is something that we do need to be looking at. And yeah, I think that could give another spark. Even though it's not Bitcoin, I do believe that the ETH ETF could be something really useful. Now we go over on to here and look at our CVD. Now we can see that yesterday was a bit of a profit-taking day from spot. The reasons for that being, I mean, you're up quite high. It is just a bit of a profit-taking day. We're not seeing any major movements here. And perps, of course, managing to hold quite well. If we do see spot picking up, what you don't want to see on this occasion is perps start to move higher. Okay, you create those divergences against this high here where perps move up like this, make a new high here, and spot isn't really following. But if we do see spot starts to pick up, what I think we're going to need to see to break through that previous day open is some spot buying. And if that does happen, then I think we can be pushing on once again towards those higher targets. Anything else that we really need to say? There's not a whole lot more. Like overall, the market's again green today. Fairly well. You got some pullbacks, but this is from a 24-hour type of thing, so it's going to end up green later on. We still have that spot premium here, which means that the funding rates are favorable for long positions. But overall, it's relatively neutral here, and we're just trading the I've done that Blofin thing again. When I get back onto this screen, it does that. So yeah, I think realistically, that's all I have to say for today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Continue on with the stream. Have a little look at the alt market and so on, and we'll just leave it there. So let's see how it goes. Right now, you can maybe be looking at short positions from previous day open to target these lows, but let's see if we can get that final push up. That for me would be the nicer confluence there to get a move down once again afterwards. Cool. Right. Thank you. See you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye. Robot, I'm late. Can we start again? It's all about me. I mean, I'm going to upload this right now before I forget. So let's upload the video. That is the video. There we go. So if you want to look at the Bitcoin analysis once again there, then you can do that. Delete the timestamps. And add a thumbnail. Throw it up onto X also. Who's watching on X? Anyone over there? Chat if you're there. We've got a few people in there. God damn. This account's funny, man. This KuCoin Hunter. I don't know why I'm following it. It's just funny because it's just some like idiot who just charts everything that's just dumping, like that's a like ridiculous low, and then he's like, oh, this looks bullish, this looks bullish, this looks bullish, and I look at the charts, and then like a few days later, it's just down, 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 down. I do follow some absolute trash on Twitter. I like to follow some trash accounts as well as some good accounts, just to keep things balanced, you know. Right. Back onto... I mean, I can keep the same thumbnail as yesterday and the same title as yesterday. Nothing has actually changed, has it? The market's still the same as it was yesterday, which I know is very bad for clickbait, and I need to do more clickbait, but this is for you guys. The clickbait videos are separate kind of things. And let's go 67 today. Shameful clickbaiting. I mean, it's part of the game, right? You got to do it, otherwise you don't get subscribers and you don't get viewers, which is what the problem has always been for us here. Okay. Upload video, publish video. I'll do that. Righty ho. Let's look at some altcoins quickly. I'm only going to do another 10-15 minutes or so, so we'll just, if you have any altcoins that you want to check, then you can do that. You can pay to boost your videos in the YouTube studio. You can, yeah, but that doesn't help organic growth. As soon as you start to pay to promote videos, the algorithm says, "Oh, this guy pays to promote videos, therefore we're going to make sure they keep on paying." So they hit your organic growth really bad. Yeah. And then that forces you. So like, let's say you spend $100 to promote a video, it gets 100K views. They will be like, this guy's prepared to do that. So therefore, we're not going to give him the organic views that the people who just grind away and get organic growth do. That's just how it works. As soon as they know that you're willing to pay, then they will make you pay. They will continue to make you pay. Cool. Right. Ebba Mark, Luke, can you check out SAVM project, please? This SAVM is on BTC infrastructure enabling ZK rollups. We'll look at it. It is a scam. Yeah, it's just a guy, like, it's a guy, basically, Satoshi VM, right? Is a guy that has like 600,000 followers or something on Twitter. He just hired a guy to write a smart contract for him. Got all of his friends within crypto Twitter to shill the project, and then it dumped 95%. Now, and the guy who did it has been really, really quiet on this since. It's not like one of those devs and founders that's like, okay, cool, we're down 95%, but we're still working on this. I don't believe they're still working on it. I think it was a white paper and a hired dev that was used. So he spent like 10K to hire a dev, write me a smart contract, make me a white paper. I'm going to show this to all my friends and get all my friends rich. Just give them a bunch of free tokens. So it's that fucking, you know, the ones, Kyle Chassé, Lady of Crypto, Crypto Banter, Crypto Rover, Martini Guy, all the biggest shills were just given a ton of free tokens, and then retail ate the losses, basically. So it's just, I'll get my friends rich. We've got a bit of vaporware here. Nothing's going to happen. Now, if it is down 95%, so it does represent an opportunity, okay? Because if they actually continue to develop this, then the white paper itself was kind of cool, right? It was interesting. But is it possible at this stage? I don't even know. Like, is it just like absolute, just complete nonsense? Never going to happen. And it just dies and dies and dies and just made the people who bought it, or made the people who got free tokens, a load of money. And it just goes to zero. I think going to zero is probably the more likely option. But it is down 95%, so it is essentially zero already. So if you want a very just low risk play, maybe they work on this some more, and maybe it actually does become real. Then absolutely, I think you could very easily trade this back to $1, from $1 back to $10. You could very easily get it back up to $20. It could even go on a market cycle. It could be a real decent thing, but it's just not something I have an interest in, because it is, in my opinion, a scam and will continue to be a scam. So that's it. I mean, the chart itself looks kind of good, but from an ethical perspective, could I trade this? Look at this. You've reclaimed after what I'd say would be the final capitulation. You're holding this level. I mean, if you want to go, I'm just going to long this. There's your invalidation, because basically anything you can have an invalidation of these July lows, and let's just take it back up towards some highs somewhere. Let's take it back up towards $10. You've got a 41R trade. So is the probability of this not being a scam more than 3%, 4%? You may as well take it as a trade, because maybe there's a 20% chance that it's not a scam and it's going to be making new highs. So even if you get a 5R out of that, it's decent, right? So I'd say the risk to reward is there on this token, absolutely. But do you really want to pick that over other projects that are probably still just as good risk to reward? Maybe not. So that's that. With short, you know, I love shorting memes. Hit range high now. Yes, I love shorting memes too. If there is a whiff short, then I would like to take it. So let's have a look if there is a whiff short. Yep. Yep. What I would probably say is, I mean, scalp. I still think momentum higher on this. How's the 30-minute? I still think ultimately with whiff, we're going to be coming back up towards $3. So I think that's the zone that I'd be more inclined probably to look for a short position, but certainly as a scalp, you can get that. Because actually, you got a big old bull flag here on whiff. I don't think it's going to play out that way, but it is there. Yeah, I think you could scalp short this, look for it to come back down to around about 2, but ultimately I think the better opportunities for shorts probably lie around $3 to $3.20 there. It's maybe just still a little bit low here. But what could you realistically get from this? This is just for myself. I'd rather be patient and short higher. But as we saw with that WLD trade yesterday, I mean, you could maybe get, even if you're just looking at something like this that comes back down and then it just tries a couple of more times and then breaks out, you can still get some profit from that. So, yeah, that's decent. That's decent. Glyph, do you rely more on FVGs, never see mark out OBs? I do mark out both. Now, what I do is, because the gap is where the liquidity is, right? You've got this triple top over here. That's where the liquidity is, and it's very easy just to visually see, okay, look, you can be looking at something like this, you can wick into this area, you can wick into this area, and you can hold and do something like that. But I would rather take my trade within the imbalance and use the balance area that's above as more of an invalidation for that. So I have that more marked on my chart than the order blocks now. I think getting the entries within those is more preferable. Even if you get something like this that does that, I'm looking for that there as the short position rather than trying to guess where to trade within an order block. I just think it makes a little bit more sense for me, and it's up to my win rate and profitability on that. Just by looking at it more there. Yeah, that's it. Like you look for. You can wick into these OBs above. Now the thing is with this, there's not really a clear OB to mark either. Like you've got a nice clear gap, and that again coincides quite well with. I mean, you've got like that breaker block there. So you can combine these, and you can be like, look, okay, price impulse through what was a bullish AB, and then you've got some confluence, and it starts to stack up there. But in terms of an OB above here, like if you're looking at an order block for taking a trade, like the thing is, if you've got an OB that doesn't have a gap, then absolutely you'd trade that. Like for me, this is a real nice clean OB area, which rejected a few times. You got this one down here, and I tend to just go bodies from that, and then you look for entries. So yeah, you get the idea. You got this 4 hour one going on. So yeah, with I mean could be a little short. What else did we take yesterday? WLD USDT.P. That was the short on world token. So that was after taking this high. What was the, where did I chart this? I don't know, somewhere. But yeah, I took the scalp short on WLD. I have taken most of the profit on this. I've essentially closed that trade on this first dip, but I do have a little bit remaining. I took it with like 10k contracts. Sorry. Yeah, and I've got like a little bit left. Where's my little money shot? Yeah, money shot. Whoa. Here we go. Whoever that was yesterday, that was who was it? It was Blue Raincoat that mentioned this. So nice money being made there. Good little trade. Oh, we've also got some other nice ones on the go. Some that I'm looking at, I mean, ATH is pumping. So I think this is a real nice one. That's been having a decent markup recently. I think there's another good opportunity to buy here fairly soon. We've had a decent markup. We've had a decent sign of strength. So ATH looks like it's going. ZRO still looking healthy. Having back tested that previous resistance as support, and we're trading within this range here, still looking for higher prices there. Doge, I'm continuing to add to my Doge position. Now with that one, oh, who is that? Thank you for subscribing. Where's the Doge? Which is the one with the proper chart? There we go. So a real nice reclaim of that monthly level, holding back above here. So I think with a ton of altcoins now, we're looking at, we've had this range, we then have the capitulation, and then we're looking for a new range here, and then we're going to be getting the expansion higher. All right, so you have the accumulation, the manipulation, and then we're getting the expansion, basically across the board. So all you needed to do was just sit out those few days, all right, sit out that week, and now everything's back in the green again. We didn't know that we were going to get this capitulation. It could never have happened, but that's the thing. This is the accumulation, and the people that have money and can be patient and allow for a little drop are the ones that are going to profit from the expansion afterwards. The people who got wrecked and could not afford to have anything in the red are the people that are just going to lose. So I'm absolutely considering this to be the manipulation, and through almost every asset, we're now looking at expansion higher. Almost everything. Okay, there's so many examples of this right now where this exact thing is playing out. Accumulate, manipulate, expand. Simple stuff. Anything else we want to cover? XAI is moving up nicely. I mentioned this within the crew. So something that's been heavily fudded. Okay, got a real bad FUD around it, and we're getting a decent move up on that. So I'm fairly profitable on this one right now, but I still think that has a long way to go before we're looking at, essentially with here, you're looking at manipulation there, and you've got to reclaim like 65 cents to be looking at that being bullish again. But it's one of those nice ones. Tau USDT is looking good. Okay. Bouncing off that big POC. T is looking good again. There's a ton of stuff looking really good. Looking very nice. Right, I am going to have to wrap it up here. I do apologize that it's a shorter one today. I will do a little bit more soon. So we're going to wrap it up. If there's any final questions, I've got like 3 minutes that I could stay for. But otherwise, yeah, let's leave it at that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Doesn't look like there's any more questions. Cool. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.